A tsunami, a tidal wave of money is going to start flowing into Bitcoin and specific altcoins. There's a lot happening behind the scenes. Donald Trump is back at it again with Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell will be speaking tomorrow. Wait till you see the note Trump sent to Powell. Interesting one. Also, the Triple B, the big beautiful bill, is getting some final touches. What are they adding that's going to benefit Bitcoin? And if it does happen and it passes, the tsunami will be here. Believe me, we'll talk about that. Also, big news coming out of Robinhood. They're building their own L2. What chain do they choose and why? And what does that mean for the chain? Also, the first ever staked crypto ETF in the US is going live on Wednesday. Solana, congratulations. What's price action telling us? And is that something that you should have on your radar? Q2 was the most bullish second quarter in a very, very long time. What does that mean for Q3 for Bitcoin and alts? We have that and much, much more on today's episode of Sin City Crypto. Let's go.
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto, home of the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency content, where we take old, boring, stale information, repackage that whole thing up in a fun and Las Vegas kind of way. You know what? We have seen some volatility out of Bitcoin this morning. You know, is it trying to tell us that a breakout is coming? Well, we saw 108.9 this morning. Also, we saw 106 this morning. And, well, we're back at 107.
Talking about the Las Vegas weather? Or?
Yeah. Taking a look here on the 24 hours. So right there sniffing that 109 and then down to 106 today. So I think what we're seeing here, my estimation is one, a shakeout of long positions. I think a lot of people are expecting a breakout. They're putting in their long positions, and then hey, we get a little bit of a downward swing down to 106 for our high leverage people to get liquidated or push people to close their positions. So here we are again, and well, it's been kind of a snooze fest. If you look on the 7 day.
That's like a stable coin.
Yeah. Now here you look at it from this perspective. If you look at the very, very, very far left side, we were at 100,000 exactly 7 days ago at this moment. And so we had a pretty bullish week if you think about where we came into Monday last week and where we're at now. And so could this be another bullish week coming up? We'll get into that in a little bit. But David.
Yeah.
What's up with Trump, man? There's a lot of things going on. I know you're a big Trump supporter. You got your MAGA hat in your car.
Yeah.
And
Dark MAGA, man.
Dark MAGA, let's go.
That's insane, dude. It's insane. So Rob, I was telling Rob before the show, I was like, you see the note Trump left Powell? He's like, nah. He's like, what did he say? I'm like, you got to wait. And I think that's what he's hinting at. But you're going to have to wait a little longer, my friend, because we're going to start here. BBB. And that doesn't stand for the Better Business Bureau or Big Booty. That stands for the Big Beautiful Bill. Well, amendments to it are being voted on tonight or Mondays from David Bailey. Bitcoin and crypto tax amendment will be amongst them. Email or call your senator and tell him to vote yes. Eleanor Tourette said amendments to the OBBB, regarding crypto taxes are still on the table today, despite some last-minute disagreements on Sunday. I'm hearing the White House has gotten wind of this and is pushing for inclusion of Senator Lummis's language in the final bill, which would include not taxing crypto when they're used to make transactions. So if you use Bitcoin to buy, a cup of coffee, which I don't see why you do that, you don't have to pay taxes on that Bitcoin, right? And so sounds obvious. You don't pay taxes on, I guess you do sales tax, but either way. And then from our favorite KOL, AIXBT, said Bitcoin at 108K isn't the real story. Senate votes on Bitcoin capital gains amendment in 24 hours, plus J.D. Vance declaring it strategically vital, which is an unprecedented momentum, 2.21 billion weekly inflows, plus 6-year low exchange supply, plus, Robin, 75% odds of capital gains elimination. Grayscale deadline adds pressure. Support at 95.85K looking clean. So the theme of the show today is a tsunami, right? The tsunami comes in, it takes a while to build up, draws all the water out, and then the wave grows bigger, and you start seeing it from far. It's like, is that a tsunami? And the next thing you know, before you can start running, bam, wipes out a city. In this case, it would wipe out the shorts and we'll take Bitcoin to new all-time highs. Rob, what are your thoughts on the triple B, the bill, no capital gains tax, and no tax on payments for Bitcoin? You think either one of these things could be a catalyst that could make people more bullish and more risk on and start putting some of their money into BTC? And I'm talking, of course, about institutions at Wall Street.
I'm trying to figure more or less what is your experience with tsunamis. It sounds like you've had a lot of firsthand effects, run-ins there. And
Got a lot of them in Vegas. Man.
Yeah, he's like, everybody, listen here. You see the tide go out. It's not me emptying in the bathtub, but that's
Idiot.
You know what? I am beyond excited about capital gains. The weird thing here is that it's almost like it's flying under the radar. Imagine if in 2020 or 2019 or any year other than, well, the last year and a half, if we would have said, hey, we're going to get a bill that says we're going to have no capital gains tax on Bitcoin and crypto, not just Bitcoin.
That's right.
I think everyone would have been talking about that for about 6 months. If you would have seen this back in 2018, 2021, would have been like, guys, now, like, to put into context what that means, no capital gains on crypto. That means crypto now, and we can talk about Bitcoin, would be a better asset for wealth storage than pretty much anything. I mean, I'm being honest here. I think at this point, it's hard to make an argument against Bitcoin against any investment vehicle. Because if you buy the S&P 500 and you cash out 20 years from now, you're paying tax. You cash out 2 years from now and you're paying tax.
Straight up.
You buy Google and then you cash out, you're paying tax. You buy gold.
Why are you yelling, dog? You mad?
This is what I do, man.
Okay, sorry.
Have you not seen the hold on. Give me my title. Put my title down here. Right here. Let's go. Loud spoken crypto expert. It's been the title for the last 4 years. Why are you surprised, bro?
Fair enough.
Okay, thank you. So back to my point here is that what investment vehicle, because you're gonna pay taxes on everything.
Everything.
You buy gold, stocks, a lotto ticket, a house, a car, and whatever it is, if it ends up being worth more when you sell it, you're paying tax on it. Not with crypto, at least if this passes. And so investing, protecting your money, it's Bitcoin and absolutely nothing else.
Nada. I mean, think about it that way, Rob. I'm like, you got an asset that is a commodity, has a hard cap supply, that's being adopted at a faster rate than the internet was adopted. And hey, you can invest in it and not pay any capital gains tax. And this is an asset that has a compounded annual growth rate of like 108%. I mean, to any person who knows anything about investing, and us watching, you do, because obviously you put in the time to learn. Majority of people probably won't understand it. But guess what? The people with money, the people that make big moves, they're going to jump at the opportunity. And so I am super excited. And think about this, Rob. Do you think it'll have some negative effects on certain altcoins to where if Bitcoin is a sole vehicle when it comes to digital assets that you can earn money without paying any capital gains tax, are people going to be looking to move out of the altcoins or certain altcoins and into Bitcoin, preserving more of their capital because they don't have to give away any of it to capital gains tax? Do you see that as a potential?
Yeah, I mean, it's across the board.
So you think Bitcoin dominance could get to what, 75%?
I mean, you also have crypto in general, but I think that people you're going to preserve their wealth in more stable assets. It's gonna be Bitcoin for institutions. Now, that doesn't mean that retail doesn't come in and get excited, because what'll end up happening is, let's just say a bunch of millionaires and billionaires and companies are like, hey, you know what? We can just set some money aside, see some returns. We could either put it into, say, the S&P 500 or into index stocks or some basket of commodities. We could do that, but if we make money when we go to sell, we have to realize the profits and pay taxes on it. And so if you can subvert that by not paying any taxes and going into Bitcoin, it's hard to make an argument against that. But now what I'm saying is that if that happens, we're going to see a price increase in Bitcoin, right? I mean, you're going to have a lot of people coming in, buying Bitcoin. We're seeing it already. We're seeing a lot of outflows from Bitcoin as far as exchanges going to institutions. But if that ramps up, it will cause an effect. It's going to drive up the price of Bitcoin. Also, retail is going to come in and buy Bitcoin as well. Instead of somebody saying, hey, you know what, 10-year hold on S&P 500, maybe I do a 10-year hold on Bitcoin instead.
And not pay capital gains tax.
Exactly. Now, but to answer your question, I know that I kind of subverted that one there, but
You never do that.
yeah, and I know I don't. But to answer your question, it'll raise the price of Bitcoin, which in turn will put the altcoin market in a good position, right? You need fresh money to come in, and there's a lot of people that have Bitcoin. There's going to be a lot of traders. People are going to make money.
But Rob,
in turn, they're going to buy altcoins.
But my question is, the people that have altcoins, are they going to move into Bitcoin?
No.
If you got $100,000 worth of an altcoin portfolio and a $20,000 worth of Bitcoin, and you realize that, hey, I'm not going to pay taxes on that 20.
We know who we hang out with, man. You know who the degens are. You know the crypto community here. There's two camps. There's the Bitcoin maxi that is Bitcoin and Bitcoin only, and they'll put the Bitcoin tattoo on the butt cheek or whatever it is. And so the other side of the camp is the altcoin community. And they can get burned 1,001 times over, and they will still go buy the next altcoin.
Is that why you walked in here funny today? Did you get a tattoo?
Absolutely not. I'm not a Bitcoin maxi.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. Altcoins, baby.
Okay, interesting.
I'm not saying I hate Bitcoin. I got Bitcoin in the portfolio, long-term hold, but definitely have made more money on altcoins than I have Bitcoin.
Well. Let's move on.
Answer my question here. For you, real quick, have you made more money in altcoins or Bitcoin over the lifetime?
Altcoins.
Exactly. So I mean, the people watching here are probably in the same boat. So you think they're all going to sell out? They're going to hang up the jersey and then just go buy Bitcoin and put it on a ledger and then not think about crypto again? Nope.
Listen, either way, no cap gains tax on Bitcoin. You're going to see a lot of a lot of inflow coming in. All right, let's move on to story that never gets old. Trump. The White House says President Trump called Fed Chair Jerome Powell and asked him to lower rates. Then he sent him this note. Jerome, you are, as usual, too late. You have cost the USA a fortune and continue to do so. You should lower the rate by a lot. Hundreds of billions of dollars being lost. No inflation. And then he highlights, right, what other countries, where they're at and where the USA is at. And I just found this last minute. This is White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. Now, I haven't listened to this. Again, I found this last minute, literally a minute ago. Take a listen to what she says. Maybe Trump added some.
I hope it's AI. I hope she's got like a man voice.
And if you look at this chart, this is a chart of all of the interest rates of many countries throughout the world. At the top is Switzerland. They're only paying a quarter for interest rates. Cambodia, Japan, Denmark, Thailand, Botswana, Barbados, Taiwan, Bulgaria, Cuba, Sweden, Morocco, Cabo Verde, South Korea, Algeria, Canada, Albania, Libya, Malaysia, China.
Can someone train her how to talk into the mic? Come on, man. You're the press secretary.
New Zealand, Trinidad and Tobago, Czechia, Bolivia, Australia, Costa Rica, the Bahamas, Kuwait, Papua New Guinea, Bosnia, United Kingdom, and the UAE are all paying lower interest rates than the United States of America, which has one of the hottest and strongest economies in the world. The president sent this note to the Fed chair. It says, Jerome, you are as usual too late. You have cost the USA a fortune and continue to do so. You should lower the rate by a lot. Hundreds of billions of dollars are being lost, and there is no inflation. And if you look at the
well, for mudslinging.
Good news, Rob. Jerome Powell speaks tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern, so 6:30 in the morning local time here in Vegas. Obviously, I don't think he's going to announce they're going to do anything, but he's definitely going to be asked about that.
Absolutely.
I don't know. You think they can? And then Scott Bessent, Treasury of the Secretary or Secretary of the Treasury.
He's looking for a replacement.
Yeah, he's like, look, I'm ready to replace him if Trump gives me the orders. Right now, you think Powell gets replaced, markets are overjoyed. I think Powell gets replaced, markets rally initially, and then we see a decent pullback.
He gets replaced, they start cutting rates. Whoever Trump puts in there, there's only one thing that like there's one absolute must checkbox on that application
is you're going to cut rates. I get that, Rob. I get that, but it's still an uncertainty with a new Fed chair. You can come in and cut rates. But what if they're like, well, if he's going to go overboard, then are we going to be in a bad position? Inflation starts heating up. Magic, Magic was on a show on Tuesday. We were talking about inflation, and he's like, look, I'm going to send you some stuff after the show that shows inflation is actually ticking up. He did, and inflation is ticking up.
It doesn't even matter. I'm not saying that it's good. I'm not justifying. I'm just telling you, whoever goes in there is going to slash rates by at least 2%. If it goes in, if they're still around 5%, we're going down to 2%. We're gonna dramatically drop rates, which is we're gonna see. And if you want to go back to, if you don't see the wave here pulling back, the bathtub emptying out, whatever analogy you want to use, there's going to be.
I did not use a bathtub analogy. Is that tsunami?
Okay. Well, just know that history has told us once the rates have gotten cut, especially dramatically, there has always been a surge in investment, money printing. It's just pretty much free to borrow or damn near close to it. And it will absolutely 100% rally the markets. Now, how sustained is it? Maybe we get it. Maybe we overcorrect. Stock market goes God candle, and then we end up pulling back. Sure, yeah. I'm not saying that it's a straight shot up and to the right and doesn't ever come back down. I'm very realistic, but I do think that if you were to take a snapshot when we cut rates, you look forward 2 years, it's going to be an obvious catalyst to a big market move, not only in the stock market, but in also crypto.
The chat's freaking out because it looks like YouTube changed how people's usernames are being shown. Now it's showing your entire username. And so RustyBot said, David has given us inmate numbers. Get in line. No more questions. We do have a goal up. We haven't done the club in a while. And I don't think Gina, who's been running point on production the last few weeks, I don't think she's ever seen what the club looks like. And so end of the month, end of the quarter, great time to get a club going here. Also, I don't think our audio engineer Antoine has seen it either. So guys, you want to show our team the ropes here of what the club looks like. We have a goal set up. Make sure to participate. All right, let's talk about BTC. Bullish 2025 is from our friends over at Coin Bureau. 2025 is starting to feel like the start of a bull market. Bitcoin and ETH just had their best Q2 in 5 years. Bitcoin was up 31.08%, ETH 37%. Rob, does that say Ethereum outperformed Bitcoin in quarter two? Insane, right? Crazy.
What are you looking at?
What do you mean?
Where are you?
Quarterly returns. This is from CoinGlass, my friend.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. What?
Yeah. Look, this is Ethereum on the 1 year.
No. We had a discussion.
Okay.
You bet me. No.
So from this little point here,
You're weaseling your way out of this. You bet me that Ethereum would not outperform Bitcoin from X point. This conversation happened, what, 2 months ago?
At the end of the year.
So far, I'm in the lead. So anything you want to say?
No. When I said this, we were
Ethereum.
No. When I said this, Ethereum was not at $1,800. When I said this, it was at the $2,400. That bet you're alluding to was when ETH was at $2,500.
That was not.
You're telling me I said that Bitcoin was going to outperform ETH when ETH was under $2,000? Because I changed my tune when Bitcoin was under $2,000.
It was around 2K. It was over. It was
It was
2K
not.
or above.
It was not.
It was not
100%.
2,500.
100. If you make me
It was
take
not-
time out of my day to find this video,
I'm agreeing with you. It wasn't at 1,800.
it was at 2,000.
It was around 2,000. It was not 2,500.
David, look at this chart. Look at this chart here. We went from 1,800. Look, I'm not trying to be funny. But we went from 1,800 straight to 26.
That's the funny
There
part.
there was no 2,000 here. It was 1,800 or it was 25. It's option A or B. It wasn't
So it
option.
just jumped from 18 to 25. There's no in between.
Yes,
Here,
that's what I'm saying.
Let me pull up an actual
Okay.
chart.
Okay. Pardon me. There was a 48-hour window where over the last this quarter.
What time frame are you looking at there, Robert?
Look at that giant green candle right there.
Okay.
Okay. That. Excuse me. That wasn't in one. That wasn't in one jump. My apologies. How long did that take to get there?
It got up to 2,500 in 3 candles.
3 days.
Yeah.
Okay. 72 hours. So you're telling me that in that 72-hour run is when you made that bet with me?
Yeah.
No.
Hold the receipts.
Okay, I will.
Go ahead, you know?
We'll make an extravaganza on this. If I go and find it,
Yeah.
it's not going to be a short little clip. It's
Go
going to
and
be
find it.
a whole themed show.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
You want me to do it?
Yeah, do it.
Okay. Cool.
Just let me know what day.
Tomorrow, I will find it tonight. I will 100% find it tonight. Absolutely. You know, when I get dedicated to something, I will not stop. So I will find it tonight, and tomorrow's show will be themed how wrong David was, and we'll talk about.
How am I wrong?
I'm just telling you.
Okay. Now I forgot where. Okay, so we're talking about how bullish Bitcoin is, and well, here we are talking about Ethereum, arguing about Ethereum.
Ethereum has been at $2,500. It was there on the 1 year. It was at 2,500 from August of 2024 to November. Now we rallied. We got up to $4,000 or just shy of it. Yeah, no, we got to 4,000 in December. And it's just the ugliest chart. And this is just ETH. This isn't even ETH versus Bitcoin. You do ETH versus Bitcoin. This is a slaughterhouse. What line what color looks better to you? Orange or blue?
Orange is the new blue. Wait, what?
No. Thank you, Gina. Appreciate it. Thank you. Orange is the new blue. That's right. Yeah.
What does that show? Orange is the new black.
Yeah. That's like from the 95 or something, man.
Not
2001.
2010s,
Old ass show, man.
90s. Okay.
He's like, you watched that newest episode of Walking Dead?
That was actually a good series until like season 7.
Like, bro, have you seen episode 3 of Sons of Anarchy? Man, it was so good. Like,
I love Sons of Anarchy. That was a good show, man. Okay. So let's look at Q2. Okay. So historically, for Bitcoin, Q2 has brought on average 27%. We're at 30.4. For ETH is actually half of what its usual Q2 returns are, which usually on average is 63%, and now it's at 35%. Now, with Bitcoin specifically, we talk about it outperforming its average on the Q2. This is the highest quarter we've had since 2020. And that was, the pandemic and whatnot. What do you expect from, and we can take a look back, Rob, 2020, where we had that 42% Q2. We followed up with an 18% Q3 and a 168% Q4. Do you think we're on the same path as we were in 2020 in that the rest of the year, at least on a quarterly basis, we're going to see double-digit returns for Bitcoin?
The double digits returns are coming. I'm not sure if it's off of the back of like, hey, this time period 4 years ago is the reason. I just think it's more or less we're coming out of, well, the summertime next quarter.
Summer.
We know that people get off vacation. They've spent too much money on that trip to Disneyland. And well, now it's time to get back and make some money. So people start investing.
I feel like I'm being targeted here.
How am I targeting you?
You know I'm going on vacation. You know I'm going to a theme park. You know I spent too much money. Well,
I genuinely wasn't aiming that one at you, but yeah, other people than David go on vacation, and other people than David go to Disneyland, and they spend too much money, and they decide that they want to make some back and
Facts.
invest.
these are facts.
Sorry to hear about your loss. Yeah. So
Hasn't happened yet.
Oh, okay.
Well, the payments come out. But anyways, go ahead.
Did you get the fast passes?
You know, Jimmy. Thanks, Jimmy. He bragged about that private tour
Yeah.
so much that that's what I did. Pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Kids are excited though.
I went to Busch Gardens and I got the quick pass.
Best. You can't go theme park without it, man.
Well, the thing is most of the theme park didn't even have them, so I just felt like I had a cheat code
Ah.
because it was like a line. It was like super long, like hour of wait, and then it was like 1 minute and 30-second wait for me.
That's the way to do it, bro.
And I'm like, how are y'all okay with this?
Especially if you're traveling across the country to go somewhere. It's
Right.
worth it. Pay the extra money, get the fast passes, and not wait.
Yeah, you factor in the hotel, the theme park, all the food, and all that. Like, just fork out the extra $100 whatever dollars it is. Get the damn pass.
Get the pass. We had some super chats, Rob. You wanna?
All right, Poe Man says $20. I'm Poyo people.
I'm Poe. Yo, people got to help with this.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Also, Ashley said, this is my entire bank account. Open up the club. $4.99. What up, Ash? Also, Muhammad said, if orange is the new blue, then Rob is the new Hobbit. Okay. That's
I think Muhammad's got a man crush on you.
man crush.
He can't stop talking about you, man.
Yeah, he does.
Muhammad, how about this, man? So big on Rob, we can get you a meet and greet here, my friend. Did you do that for Muhammad? Anyways. It's a fun show. Everyone's laughing behind the scenes. I feel like they're laughing at my expense, which is fine. It's whatever. Let's move on. Let's move forward, guys. Yeah. Why Bitcoin price could head down to 102,000 according to charts. Very nice title there. According to new liquidation heat maps and leverage data, the market appears to be laying the groundwork for a two-sided liquidation event that could drag the price of Bitcoin back toward the $102,000 zone. This is what they're talking about. Let's take a peek at a Bitcoin chart really quick. Speaking of charts, I'll be manning the Sistine Trading Show today. So right after this live show, I'll be hopping over to Sistine to do some trading. And so BTC seeing a pullback at 108.3. This could be setting up for we'll see how this plays out, but a potential inverse head and shoulders on the very high time frame, depending on how deep this goes. I think 105.8 is a great area to kind of eye along for BTC. You have some confluence there, not only with that support zone, but also where the top end of our cloud sits, right here at 105.8K. If we lose that and we break into the cloud, you do have some support at our 26-day moving average at 104.4. Below that is our 9-day MA at 103.52. And then we're talking 100K flat. If we get all the way down to 100K flat, the inverse head and shoulder setup will be invalidated because it'll no longer be a right shoulder. It'll be a double header. And so, but BTC decreasing volume on the 1 day as well. Market cipher B, we're seeing expanding momentum waves to the upside. VWAP money flow all above zero, which is fairly bullish. On the lower time frame, let's check out the 4 hour here on BTC. 4 hour looks good. We had this bull flag that we broke out of, right? Don't even count this massive move, channel, break to the upside, and then we kind of gave it all back. We crossed that 50% retracement on the fibs, if I were to draw that from the breakout of where that flag ended. And so, again, something to keep an eye on, but still trading well above our cloud here on the 4 hour. And so Bitcoin is kind of in a stalemate. But again, this is something that I have brought to everyone's attention is what if it's just mini cycles, right? We rally for 3 days, consolidate for 7 to 10. Rally for 3 days, consolidate for 7 to 10. Draw down for 3 days, consolidate 7 to 10. And there are these mini kind of cycles within the larger cycle. And that's kind of what we've been seeing, right? And Lifer pointed this out when he was on our show during Bitcoin conference. is on the weekly, Bitcoin is just flagging, right? Big move up, downtrend. Big move up, downtrend. Big move up, downtrend. Big move up, and guess what? Downtrend. And so, I don't know, Rob. This article says 102 could be coming from squeezing out those longs. What are your thoughts on price action in July? We know summer months usually. I know you kind of mentioned summer's kind of slow, but I don't know. What are your general thoughts on I guess just Bitcoin's price action the next 2 to 4 weeks?
I mean, I can tell you where I land. I still think that, we were heading up to new all-time highs. Then the Iran situation came in, pulled the market back. And here we are again. We're starting to see a rally. You can make a case for both sides. Obviously, I stand behind my kind of thesis. But as I've known, as I've been through my personal trading history, I get it wrong sometimes, and so can't be right on all of them. And so you gotta look at the chart both ways. Candle can break to the upside, downside. You never know what the news event is. Last week was Iran, or 2 weeks ago was Iran. This next week could be some other geopolitical situation, some banking event. So yeah, I get it, man. We can go to 102, 100%. I lean on the side from probabilities, my personal sentiment, my experience in the market. What I'm seeing smart money do is essentially Bitcoin should go to the upside. I think so. I mean, Saylor just bought more Bitcoin.
You think we end July over 120 grand?
Next month? I don't know by end. And I do agree with your price sentiment or price analysis where Bitcoin breaks out and then consolidates or pulls back and then breaks out again, kind of like, as you said, flagging. So I could see a breakout next month. I do think a breakout next month at some point. I do think a 120 is on the table. Maybe it's with the language in this bill that they just added. You also have the stablecoin bill is supposed to be done next month as well. That's what the timeline that Congress congressmen have said. They say, hey, look, we're expecting the stablecoin bill to be done by July. That could be very bullish for the industry. And as mentioned, I mean, we're seeing MetaPlanet buy Bitcoin. They bought some more over the weekend. MicroStrategies bought more over the weekend as well. You also have here's a headline.
On cue.
Yeah. So Strategy buys another 5,000 Bitcoin, or just shy of that, for $500 million. So
remember last week where they bought like
big buy?
Remember last week they bought 200 Bitcoin?
Yeah. And so they're pulling trigger. Also,
he wasn't joking when he said he's buying the top. I mean, he bought the top, right? 106.8.
Yeah. I don't think he looks at it that way.
I don't either. I agree.
I think he looks at it from
honestly, like here's the thing, and not to cut you off. I mean, I meant to cut you off, but sorry for cutting you off.
Sure. Right.
But if you expand your time horizons to 10 years and you feel certain that Bitcoin, let's say, will be at $1 million in 10 years, a 90% discount, even at 100K or 106K, is a good investment over the 10-year time frame. And so I think that's what.
Yeah, and to frame your thought there in a different way, to frame it a different way. If you were to go in a time machine, you went in a time machine.
Okay.
And okay.
Yeah, I'm going in a time machine.
All right,
Closing my eyes.
All right. Okay.
Taking off my glasses.
Okay, let's go. All right, time machine. Here we go. All right, so we're in a time machine. We dial that thing back, right? You crank it up. We're in 2013. Hello, 2013. You step outside the time machine. There was a fly in the time machine, so it's going to be a bad outcome in a couple weeks. But you got a couple weeks. People that have seen Fly movie, you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, 2013, you get out of the time machine. What is the first thing you're doing?
Buying Redbox stock.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
You buying any crypto? Any Bitcoin?
No, zero.
No.
It's a scam.
No, I mean honestly, like
It's a scam. It's
okay.
used for illegal activity.
But
I'm being serious. That's what people were saying in 2013.
Okay. So are you buying?
So going back to 2013.
Okay, you're in 2013.
Do I have the knowledge I have now?
Yes, you
Yes,
just
then
got
I'm
out of
buying.
time machine.
Then yes, I'm
okay,
buying. Maybe,
all
I don't know.
right.
Some time machines wipe your memory. I don't know.
Okay, so anyways, we're back in 2013. The price of Bitcoin currently is at $100.
I'm
Now, what happens when Bitcoin gets to $1,000? Are you done buying it?
hell no.
That's what that's where we're at now. That's kind of what we're saying is that if you're forward looking, you're looking forward 10 years, you know Bitcoin's going to be $1 million, and you have that conviction. You have no doubt that it's going to be $1 million to $10 million, and that's going to be in 10 years. Why do you even give a damn if the price is at 98,000 or 107,000? It really makes no difference when you have that mentality. And so if you were to get off a time machine, but you happen to come out in September at $125 per Bitcoin, or if you popped your head up and it was $800 in January 2014, you're still just going to keep buying. It just makes, if you look at it from I could have bought it at $100.
That was a really good. That was good. Put it in perspective. Like, if going back, Bitcoin's at $1,000. Knowing what you know now, would you buy it? The answer is absolutely yes. And so it's just it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, you sell your car, you got $10,000.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, you're like,
I
okay, I can buy 10 Bitcoin, and then just and then figure out my ride situation.
I would literally sell my left leg. Moving on to
I need that thing.
your left leg. Okay. You know, someone asked me why you walk like, what do they say? You walk like a what? Anyways, it was someone we both know. I was like, why does Robin walk like a, I'll figure out what they said by the end of the show. Anyways, take a look at this. This is a Bitcoin treasury companies. At the top of the list here, you obviously have MicroStrategy. Then you have MetaPlanet, which is the MicroStrategy of Japan. And then you have a bunch of other ones. Maybe some you never heard of. You've heard of Semler. You've heard of GameStop. Have you heard of Next Technology or Cooler Tech? Fold, SmarterWeb, Blockchain Group, Tau Alpha. These all hold Bitcoin on their balance sheet as treasury companies. So it's here. The accumulation is happening. Don't be lulled to sleep by, well, the price isn't moving. When it moves, it'll move like that tsunami. All right, we're going to watch this to lighten up our day a little bit. Then I'm going to swing it over to Rob. Take a look at the altcoin markets. It's a new Bitcoin ad.
Bitcoin fixes this.
I said my cat died.
We should start teaching him cold storage.
He's not even born yet. We're gonna have to sell the house.
Totally fine. 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin.
If you say that one more time, I'm gonna lose my...
Johnny told me he doesn't want to be with me anymore. Just stay humble and stack sats.
What?
Bitcoiners. Annoying since 2009, but still right.
That was kind of funny. Rob, take it away. The markets.
All right, getting into altcoins and looking at the top of the altcoin market is something we've talked about before. Aerodrome Finance, one of the leading DEXs on the Base ecosystem with heavy integration and presence in the stablecoin space. I saw yesterday we had a lot of movement in the Ethereum ecosystem. If you look at the 7-day here, you can see that, well, you got Pudgy Penguins, say Jupiter, but Arbitrum is in here, up 20% on the week. Aave's up 15% on the week. You also have Solana making some waves. Now, we got a couple speculative plays. Dog with Hat, Pudgy Penguins, big movers this week. Pudgy Penguins particularly up 60%, which is interesting because I wrote off Pudgy Penguins, and you said you would go Pudgy Penguins over Polygon last week.
I did.
And well, Polygon is doing what Polygon's done, and just keeps trending down and to the right. And Pudgy Penguins is a nice little move there. But
So what are you trying to say? I was right?
on a 72-hour
Yes.
thing,
It matters.
I don't know. I still, if I
You
had to
don't know.
pick, I still would go Polygon over
Okay, see you at the
Pudgy
finish line,
Penguins.
my friend.
But Pudgy Penguins, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it rallies. But Polygon is up 14% though. So it's not the worst performance out of
Stop the show real quick.
or no, excuse me, 7%. 7%.
Stop the show. What is this? Like, what is this? Can we show this to the people watching? We have 55 likes and there's 240 of you in here. Guys, please. It's literally just hitting a button. Unacceptable. I miss the days of you screaming at people. We need to bring that back. You know when dad goes too easy on the kids and then they start taking advantage of it and he just snaps back into it and then they, be a dad, Rob, to our community. I'm sorry. It's unacceptable. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. So also you do got a little red in the markets today as well, and in altcoins. And so DEXE down 8%. But it's really not too bad. Honestly, it seems like a pretty good day for altcoins. Only a handful of projects are up even over 2%. And so is this a signal that the altcoins are ready to move again? Perhaps. I think, in my opinion, I think that you're going to need to see Bitcoin break an all-time high before we see alts rally. Do you agree with that? Or do you think that,
Bro,
just hypothetically speaking, if Bitcoin were to stay between 100 and 110,000, if it just stayed there range bound for, let's say, 6 months, I know that's not going to happen, but if that did happen, is there any chance altcoins break out?
before I answer your question, guess what chart this is, Rob? Guess the chart.
Pudgy Penguins?
No, Bitcoin dominance.
Ah.
We need a damn break to the downside. This has literally been nothing but up and to the right since this November of 2022. November of 2022. This needs to break to the downside. Break, bad. So that's what we need. A break of Bitcoin dominance, my friend, because
This was me yesterday. So you got me trying to find an altcoin that outperforms Bitcoin. There you go. So I feel like I'm this little turtle here, just trying to make my way downstream,
you mean upstream.
upstream, and so it's like, can somebody just go grab him and help him get a little further up? Stop it.
You said grab you and help you because you said you're the turtle, remember? You been working out, by the way?
Yeah.
Felt a little muscle there.
For those guns?
Good.
Yeah.
Boy, hitting the gym over here, yeah. But yeah, to answer your question, Rob, I think we need a breakdown of Bitcoin dominance. I think it's very, very simple, okay? Money flows in, Bitcoin pulls back 2%, alts pull back 10%, and then Bitcoin rallies 3%, alts stay flat. That's the Bitcoin dominance. You need a break below 61.8% on the dominance. We're at 65.23. And so, again, break to the downside, ideally below 60%. We hit below this 59.07 level.
Do you think on that chart you got? I'm assuming that's 2021 there.
No,
On the far left side, that red line.
Here?
Just no, the
This?
big cascading. Yeah, is that 2021?
2021, May.
Yeah.
Guess what, Robin?
You think
Rob?
that's gonna happen again?
I don't think so. That's my point is I don't think so, dude. I mean, we had Sonny on the show Friday.
Go back again, even further. Does it? You had it drop there again. Look at that.
So this was 17, March.
So 2017 cycle happened. 2021 cycled happened.
Dominance fell 62%.
What's another 4 years? Is 2025 cycle. You don't think that'll happen?
But bro, did we see this level of dominance just up and to the right at any point in time? That's my question, dude. Is
Yeah, I mean, it was more acute. It was a shorter time period to do that. But yeah, we saw it before.
I mean,
Look at
okay.
that bounce. That's huge.
Okay, so let's start with where's 2021, okay? So let's just say 19 altcoin season started, and it was a matter of, let's see here, and then 2021, the cycle ended, right? So this was 630 days, okay? And we measure from, I don't know, I'm confusing myself on measuring. I'm trying to
You're
measure.
going over the top, and now there is no top here.
Yeah,
on this one.
yeah.
So, the thing is it will break to the downside. The question is just, I mean, I wholeheartedly believe it's going to break to the downside because I don't think altcoins are.
But you think it's going to be a break like this?
I don't, okay, what you're going to see is diminishing returns. So look at the break from 2017.
This is a 45% drawdown.
Yeah, look at 2017. Look at that break. That one was what? 60?
62%. I
Yeah.
can't.
So you went from 60% to 45, and the next one will probably be a 35% breakdown.
Okay,
Or
so
30% breakdown.
let's
But
put,
keep in mind this. Here's the caveat. Even though the percentage will be lower, the market cap will be significantly higher. So even a 30% breakdown on a $2 trillion asset, which potentially is going to be a $2.5 trillion or $3 trillion asset a little later in this bull market when the price, climbs from where it is now. That 30% drawdown on dominance is going to be a huge amount of money for altcoins. Because right now, what's the market cap of crypto outside? So we're at a $1 trillion market cap for crypto, right? Because the market cap in totality is 3.3 trillion.
1.14.
Yeah, so 1.1. So basically $1 trillion is the market cap of crypto outside of Bitcoin. So all coins. And so if you get a 30% drawdown, I mean, that is $600 billion, which is basically a 60% rally in all altcoins in the entire altcoin ecosystem. That's from where it is right at this moment. And so if you were to go forward looking, you say, hey, we're going to have $150,000, $180,000 Bitcoin, and you're talking about a $4 trillion market cap for Bitcoin. At that point, a 30% drop in the Bitcoin dominance is going to be huge for the altcoin.
Yeah.
So it's coming. I just think it's a law of diminishing returns. And 2017 was 60%, 45%. I think you get a 30% drawdown in Bitcoin dominance this year, perhaps. I'm not sure when that happens, but
So this is total 2. Okay, this chart here is total 2, which means it's everything but Bitcoin. So ETH and everything else. And this is on the weekly. Big cup and handle pattern that looks like it trading a little bit above its handle. And you take a look, we drew a fib from the swing low of around 830 billion market cap to the swing high of around 1.3 trillion. And look where we bounced. We bounced right at our 618 level, right where our gold pocket sits. And we had an immediate bounce in total 2. And so we did that measured move. And, let me go ahead and do that one more time. That measured move would take, let's say the breakout happens here, $1.5 trillion for the total 2 altcoin market cap. So keep that in mind. Will it happen? I don't know, but this is actually a really nice setup. I do want to give a big thank you to today's channel sponsor. Today's show is brought to you by CAMS Blue Wire Technology. If you want to learn how CAMS can help your business scale and grow, visit bluewiretech.com or click the link in the description of this video. They are vital to us when it comes to our networking and cybersecurity. And so these guys are absolutely amazing. Big shout out to CAMS. Also, guys, I will be hopping over to Sistine Trading in about 5 minutes, 5 to 8 minutes. We'll be doing our trading show there. And that's all I got. Anything else from you?
Robinhood,
Yeah, I was going to go over that, but I don't know if we have enough time. I guess we can do a quick. Let's do a quick hitter.
Well, here, this is so just real quick, you got Robinhood successfully transfers OpenAI stocks via Arbitrum. And so you have real world assets moving on chain through smart contracts, through Arbitrum. Pretty big news, man.
Here, you know what? Let's just run through this because I had it teed up anyways. Robinhood had a big announcement. Robinhood chain is currently being built on Arbitrum to power the future of asset ownerships. This is from David Hoffman from Bankless. Robinhood just announced tokenized private companies. SpaceX and OpenAI will be tokenized on Robinhood chain. And again, may I remind you, I'm not trying to be funny here, Arbitrum is built on ETH. Robinhood just went full crypto native, launching tokenized U.S. stocks on Arbitrum, building their own ETH layer 2, dropping perp futures in the EU, and rolling out staking in the U.S. TradFi is onboarding on Ethereum. The rails are being laid. This is from Eric Connor. So we're talking about some argue, the largest consumer-focused investing app in the world, company in the world. And, man, they're going in on crypto.
That dropping perps futures in the EU's huge.
Next is the U.S.
Yeah, next is the U.S.
It'll be big. So bullish on Robinhood stock because of this. It's going to bring them a lot of users. Also bullish. It's very bullish for crypto, and it's very bullish for Ethereum. Again, we continue to see time and time again these large companies, they are picking
what
Ethereum.
What do you think in the most bullish, crazy scenario that pops into my head?
Yeah.
Robinhood has perp trading in the U.S. And there's no capital gains on Bitcoin and crypto. And because buying and selling crypto as part of your trading strategy is essentially buying and selling, which means no capital gains tax. So imagine you can trade for free in the U.S. on a platform that has historically not had any trading fees. They let you buy for free, right?
I mean, that would be absolutely massive.
I'm just saying that, like, think about it this way. Robinhood, buy and sell stocks for free, right? That's their whole pitch, right?
Yep.
Imagine buy and trade perp, your futures trading, your leverage trading.
That would be huge. That would
free.
That would destroy.
And you throw no capital gains tax, pay no taxes on there. My God.
That would destroy the perp exchanges that people currently use right now. That would destroy them. Because if you do it for free, no maker taker fees.
I mean, do you think Robinhood would charge for it?
I don't know. Maybe it'll be built into the price, Rob. That would be my thought there, but I don't know, dude. I mean, historically, you look at how Robinhood's operated.
They arbitrage a very small amount on the microtransaction level to generate their value. I watched some documentary on how Robinhood makes their money, but it's not big transaction fees and monthly accounts or monthly business so monthly revenue models. They don't do that either, and so it's interesting. That rolls over to crypto because we know you try to buy some crypto on certain exchanges, Coinbase. It's you get hit a lot of fees,
Very expensive.
and arbitrage pretty heavy as well.
All right.
You buy that Bitcoin at 110, and next thing you look at your receipt, you're like, why is that 108.5?
That's how we roll.
Where'd my $1,500 go?
Also, all right, we're done. Come join me, Sistine Trading. 5 minutes. Gina, roll the outro. Thank you all very much. Appreciate every single one of you. Hope you had a great start to your week. And then again, stay in the chat. You'll be automatically redirected to Sistine Trading. Let's break down some charts. Join me. I'll see you later. Peace.
Sin City, crypto. Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Name the coin, it's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarize Tasting like barbecue chicken pizzas, I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin, and sinners gon' play to win. Screaming, hola, till my bags are flowing over.